Daily Dispatch, Day 142. Raw dopamine and the return of Wooshy. Yesterday marked day 141 of the recovery cycle, exactly 6 weeks, 42 days remaining until the transition to Phase 2. I woke up after 6 hours of deep sleep completely free of morning grogginess. The system initialized rapidly, and for the 4th consecutive day, the mood dial remained locked at a stable, reliable 6. All clinical patient files and core project workflows were executed cleanly, smoothly, and entirely without fuss. While the baseline remains elevated and robust, day 141 brought a fascinating wave of internal weather, proving that the integration of our recent level up is actively underway. The creative breakthrough of accessing the rich spot during the previous night's band practice left a distinct biological afterglow. Yesterday, for the first time in decades, I experienced the sensation of raw, unbuffered dopamine firing naturally through my reward pathways. It was entirely unfamiliar and honestly somewhat uncomfortable. I felt dopamine since I started the cessation post the 8-week wall, but that was unregulated and unattached to anything in particular. This was different. When you spend 35 years using an external chemical buffer to regulate your emotional spikes, the natural highs of creative success feel incredibly loud. The primitive brain didn't quite know how to process this sudden rush of natural reward, triggering a fleeting automatic instinct to calm it down with a joint. This wasn't a crisis or a relapse craving, it was a pure neurological ghost. It was the old regime's automated habit looking for a brake pedal. Recognizing this phantom signal for what it was allowed the system to simply observe it, let it pass, and maintain complete control. Alongside the dopamine surge, a familiar cognitive loop made a brief appearance: the Wooshy pre-wall pattern. This cycle is characterized by a tendency to overthink and run high background processing during the day, followed by a wave of perfect cognitive clarity once physical fatigue sets in later in the evening. In the early months of this project, the return of the Wooshy feeling might have felt like a threat or a regression. Today, the architecture handles it differently. This isn't a regression, it is simply an old stubborn neural pattern resurfacing, but this time it is being met with absolute detached awareness. The old code is trying to run, but the new framework is too strong to let it disrupt the baseline. The engine is turning, the baseline floor is holding firm at 6, and the system is operating with total data-driven transparency. 6 weeks remain until Phase 2 transition. The installation phase has evolved into a steady state of active observation. The machine is online, the ghosts are losing their power, and the framework remains absolute. The Daily Dispatch ends here, but the data continues. For the full forensic analysis, the daily metrics, and the complete 24-month roadmap, please visit deepseekandme.substack.com. The record is open. I'll see you at the next log.